The Digestive System by Heidi, Natalie, and Mikkel.
The first layer of digestion is ingestion. The next step is absorption. Next is digestion. Finally is elimination.
That was rough. Before digestion can take place, Heidi first has to ingest the food through the oral cavity. The oral cavity consists of the cheeks, lips, hard palate, soft palate, uvula, tongue, gums, teeth, and salivary glands. The tongue contains taste buds, which helps our brain respond as to whether you like the food or not. The saliva helps dissolve the food so the chemicals can be tasted, and it moistens the food so you can digest and swallow. It also contains enzymes so they can break the food down into a bolus.
This ball represents the food, aka the bolus.
As the bolus is swallowed by Heidi, it moves first through the pharynx or throat, and then it will be transferred into the esophagus with the help of peristalsis, which is the contracting of muscles. After the bolus has passed through the esophagus, it is now on its way to enter the stomach. It enters the stomach through the lower esophageal sphincter, which is also a valve. The bolus has now reached the stomach. The liver is located in the upper right quadrant of the abdomen, and it manufactures a thick orange-black, sometimes greenish fluid called bile. Bile contains cholesterol, a fatty substance, bile acids, and several bile pigments. One of these pigments is bilirubin, which is produced from the breakdown of hemoglobin during normal red blood cell destruction. Beneath the liver is the gallbladder, a pear-shaped sac underneath the liver, which stores and concentrates the bile for later use. The stomach has two major enzymes to help break down the food. These enzymes consist of pepsin and hydrochloric acid. Pepsin in the stomach tries to break down the proteins of the food into amino acids. However, the pepsin does need the help of the hydrochloric acid to do this. Although the small intestine does do most of the digestion, the stomach can also digest some non-fatty substances such as alcohol, aspirin, etc. The stomach can do this with the help of the epithelial cells to get the maximum absorption possible.
In the help of digestion, the pancreas produces enzymes to help break down fats, starch, and proteins.
After the food is passed into the small intestine from the pyloric valve from the stomach, the food then begins in the first part of the small intestine, which is called the duodenum. Here is when it's mixed with the bile from the liver and pancreatic juices or enzymes to help break and digest the food. After the food passes through the small intestine, it enters the large intestine. The first part of the large intestine is the cecum, which is located right next to the appendix. The food residues then move up the ascending colon, then to the transverse colon, and then down the descending colon where it reaches the sigmoid colon, which is an S-shaped, and then it will travel through the rectum and eventually to the anal canal. The main job of the large intestine is to absorb water from indigestible food residues, and eventually it'll eliminate them from the body as feces. The anal canal is the last segment of the large intestine. The anal canal has sphincters, which act like purse strings to open and close the anus, and are ordinarily closed except for during defecation. Eventually, the sigmoid colon joins the rectum. The rectum has folds called rectal valves, which separate feces from being passed along with gas. Then, the feces is then moved through the anal canal. Do you have constipation or diarrhea? Because this dog is suffering from diarrhea. The reason for this is because the food residues move too quickly through the large intestine and there wasn't enough time to absorb all the water. Please call 1-800-5467-8901 if you need help. Thanks to your help, this dog is now living comfortably without diarrhea. Did you know that the peristalsis in the esophagus is so strong that our body can ingest food standing upside down? Alright. Imagine this house as the organs of the digestive system. All the organs also need to get nutrients and blood in order to function. The superior mesenteric artery takes blood to the organs and delivers the nutrients, when the superior mesenteric vein takes away the blood and nutrients for more oxygen. You can imagine this cut as an epithelial cell slowly absorb. Oh my gosh, restart it. That's lame.
Oh, no wonder she has diarrhea.
The liver continuously releases bile, which then travels through the hepatic duct to the cystic duct. The cystic duct leads to the gallbladder, a pear-shaped sac under the liver, which stores and concentrates the bile for later use. Located directly beneath the liver. Okay, take 5. That the peristalsis in the esophagus is so strong. Oh my God.
Alright, hang on. I started.
Just like that.